Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars, week 15, day 4. It is a purple day, and we're trying something a little bit different for once. Similar to what we've used in the past, but different than what we used in the past. We're up against Druids of the Glade, and of course, we're already up against Wisp, but we have some Wisps of our own to throw out. I haven't actually tested this team. Surprisingly, I didn't even bother testing it the previous stream, but hey, let's just test it live. We'll do it live. But yeah, we're up at a +3 purple, +1 from the banner, +1 from Scion, and +1 from Wisp. We have the Herdmaster for mana generation, we have Kraken for kill, and ideally Kraken will not die. I would need to move the Kraken if we're also up against a Kraken, because basically Kraken is our only damage source. I almost feel like using Herdmaster a little bit higher up. My biggest fear of using Herdmaster too far up is things like Corvash, which actually we're up against this first battle. We'll be able to disable it too easily. I'm also, of course, always scared of a, what's it called? A Scion. Of course, we have a Scion of our own, but that's not necessarily always enough to be able to handle it. James, number 1 or number 2? Number 1. Hello Jesse, welcome. Hello Maximuse. Hello there. You are ignore your forum post? Which forum post? Did you post at Tacet when you posted it? I should have seen it. Oh, never mind, there it is. You just posted to me like 2 minutes ago. Am I streaming Guild Wars today? Yes, I'm streaming Guild Wars today. I always stream Guild Wars. We stream Guild Wars every day. Just a few minutes off because I had to go to the bathroom real quick. But yeah, we stream Guild Wars every day. Anyways, who else? Jesse, Nautical. Well, other than Monday. That's a lie. I didn't do it on Monday because there is no Guild War on Monday. Let's see. You missed the earlier stream but caught this one? Nice. Hello again, Henny. Welcome. Hello, Headless Chicken. So let's see how this goes. I've never actually used this team, I think, ever. But should go over well. The general premise of it is, actually, it has a really slow start, but once it gets going, it has everything it needs. It has the mana drain, it has that shuffle with the damage, it has a Herdmaster for the mana generation, and we have the Kraken for the final kill, which will be the ultimate way of how we actually win the battle. So, we have this up already. That's nice. We can use that. Actually, we can't use that. There's no need to use it as of this current moment in time. We'll just throw that down. Everything else that he's doing, not really going to come into play. We'll probably go grab a yellow somewhere. Don't really see it, though. Out of not getting damage sake, I almost feel like draining. But we can Skull Distract this next turn, so I think I'm going to do that for the initial turn, and then we go for the drain. Unfortunately, he did get double Skull there. Can't really help that. Couldn't see it. So now we'll just go for the shuffle into a Herdmaster, and kind of just go from there. And that'll give us basically full mana on everything. Of course, we get the extra turn as soon as we do that. A nice amount of yellow right there. Unfortunately, we're already at full yellow, so we can't really take that. I'm tempted to take the yellow in case the board doesn't allow us to after. No need to really take that skull. Draining his first slot would do almost nothing. Could throw another Herdmaster. Don't think it's going to be needed, though. That completely misses and only gives him some mana. Throw down the Herd, and now we have a drain again. We're on the drain again. Let's see, Strawn, thanks again for that motivational comment yesterday. You're trying to stay positive. Yeah, I always try staying positive. Always better. No need to be negative. Or, you know, thinking about things. Okay. There's one issue I just realized after I just killed. We don't have a summon now, do we? That's the only problem I really see now. Slight miscalculation on that part. How do we get our troops back after they die? I might just have to use what I normally use. I feel like that always almost has to happen because I'll forget like one kind of aspect. I'll either forget enough mana generation or summon or something. Summon isn't as important anymore. It's still important enough that I should probably still use it though. If we would have extra turn there, we could have gotten the kill. Now he gets a bunch of free damage and mana to lower our score with. Yeah, I think the biggest issue is we don't get enough damage quick enough. Which I kind of knew would be its biggest problem, but I just didn't realize it would be this big a problem. And the first troop will basically always die because it doesn't win in a quick enough time. Well, Wisp isn't even enough for a kill because it can't kill him. I could hope that it shuffles correctly. Which it did, so that was lucky enough. So we'll take that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Also, thank you, Christian, for the subscribe. Much appreciated. Also, thank you, everyone. We just hit, Oh, what was the amount of subscribers we just hit? Something 800. I actually completely forgot. Let me see. Should be 5,800. We just hit 5,800 subscribers earlier. So thank you, everyone. Okay, so Triple Kraken Forest Troll. That is very, 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 very annoying. What is our alternative purple team? I kind of want to use whatever my alternative is with a Scion up front. Well, it already has a Scion up front. The problem is the rest of the team is ridiculously slow. What can we replace Elamagrim with? Nothing, because then we don't cover every color. Really? That's unfortunate. Do we just stick with this and just... Because the Kraken's hit the back, he can't... you know what? I might actually go with this. This would be one of the instances where my team actually would be decent. Because we have Impervious last slot, which is very vital against Triple Kraken. And we have a Summon. We have Kraken to counter the Kraken. And we have Scion to counter their mana. I'm actually fine using my normal team for this, particularly against this team. Use a Mab? That would work too. That would be dependent on us having to find an extra turn very quick, but that's relatively easy to do. If we find this team again, I might Queen Mab it. We could always just do the Queen Mab with the Impervious. If I was to put Queen Mab on this team, I'd probably have to replace out Amnesia, though, which would get rid of our Summon. Though, if it does its role correctly and freezes enough, we wouldn't really need the Summon, because we'd win before that even became applicable to the battle. So we'll move this over. We actually do use every color, so I don't need to be afraid to not take something. We also drain whenever we take skulls, which is very annoying. Oh gosh, no. Speaking about very annoying. He can't devour us, though. Until he kills the Elamagrim, he has 0% chance of killing us. The only thing I really need to dedicate my resources to is making sure that he never gets Forest Troll up. And he already has Forest Troll up again. That's unfortunate. Pretty much every time he gets up, I have to drain him. Well, I just casted. Give me at least one turn. I literally just casted him. Well, this is quite unfortunate. I basically have to take greens. I don't really have a choice. We'll take green. Oh gosh, and he gets extra turn for it. Amazing. Yeah, we might need the Queen Mab. Well, we might need the Queen Mab. I can't even get a skull right now. I'm just gonna have to let him poke. And he does give us free greens, which is nice. Maybe we'll get a Kraken soon. I would need a blue to fall. Nope, didn't get it. He didn't get his, though, either. So we can just drain him right now. Yeah, we're getting very low. Oh, come on! Every single turn! Wow, this team is actually a little bit more of a threat than I was initially anticipating it to be. That is, definitely getting up pretty quick. And I don't have anything I can do to counter it right now, other than taking... Oh, no, I can't even take green. So, I'm scared that this will die, so I'm probably just not even going to take its mana. Okay, he took a really random move right there. I can just Skull Poke him and hope for a green off the top just to remove more from the board. Perfect, exactly what we needed. He still manages to get the turn, though. Wow. Well, he has double Kraken. I need this to not miss to have any chance. Okay, I'll take it. We got the Devour too, so that leaves him with only one. If there was a skull on the board, we'd pretty much be set. But because he still has that one Kraken, it's still not over. Oh wait, never mind. Now it's kind of over. We won. Okay. Oh, that could have gone a lot better, but we have one at this point. We just have to throw that. He'll just take whatever. We explode the board and then go from there. Okay, that should be fine. Oh, we even extra turned that. Perfect. So he can't skull us. Though, that's still a bit of an issue. So we'll throw that down. Yeah, he still gets a skull. And we don't have Elamagrim at the moment either. I mean, not Elamagrim. We don't have Amnesia at the moment. Which I do need to get her up to do that summon. So let's go move that over. He gets full mana. We'll throw the summon down. Not sure if that actually saved us points or not, but regardless, we did it. And down it goes. We get our mana at the end. And filled up everything for slightly more points. And 1,303, that was actually quite low. Wow. Yeah, did not go over well. Was that our 3... Wait, was that our 2 trophy or a 3 trophy? Oh, never mind. That was our... or 2 trophy or 3 trophy. What am I saying? Was that the second or third battle? Okay, for a second battle, I guess that was okay then. For a third battle, that would have been very low. Let me actually upscale that and see what that was. We need to go 12 divided by the 11. Oops, come on. 12 by 11 times... It was basically 1,300. I forget what the other points were behind it. Okay, that's actually okay. It was 1,418 with 18 repeatings. Somewhere around that general area. So that's okay, I guess. Do we stay with it? I kind of want to switch again. Oh, no. Biggest problem with using Scion against Wisp, though, is there really isn't much value that you get out of it. And using KrissTigger as Kraken as our only damage source is okay, but it's not really okay within the context of this team. Though then again, if we use our normal team, it's almost doing the exact same thing. We were trying a couple other ones earlier, too, and it wasn't really working out. Oh, yeah, here's another one that I sometimes use, the Infernus Elamagrim. I'd have to put the Elamagrim first, though, I believe. Well, then again, you wouldn't even be able to utilize it then either. Both variants of that don't really seem like it would work out that well. I might just stick with my standard purple, and just hope that we can Elamagrim them down. There isn't really much need to do that, though. I need almost something that can give us durability against Wisps. Because with the Wisp Kraken, Wisp KrissTigger, they can sometimes get too much damage. And if you don't have a healer, Lady or Nuriel would have to be our healer. I just don't like using her due to how inconsistent she is. I could always go double Kraken of some kind. Double Kraken, double Wisp, go. Let's see. Double Wisp can be pretty scary if it gets a bit of luck. Yeah, it can go pretty crazy. What's the formula you run? What's that formula you run? What formula are you referring to? I do not know. Oh, what formula am I running? Oh, I'm just scaling it up to 300 every single time. Because I'm comparing it to the points earlier, and I'm just using 300 as the base. So I'm basically just multiplying it by a number that would upscale or downscale the number, assuming that it's 300 points. That's basically what I'm doing every single time. So for any of these 4 battles, I would just scale it so that it would become the amount of points that you would earn if it was a 300-point battle. That's all I'm doing whenever I'm running those calculations. Because before, as you guys know, it used to be all 300 points. So the way that I know this new system is basically off of base 300. So I just rescale everything to 300 so I know how good I did relative on each battle. Because right now, if you just base what you get every single score, obviously the higher you go up, you'll just naturally be gaining more. But if you scale all of them to 300, you'll know, regardless of what you score on a specific battle, how it scales up to every other battle. That's the main reason why I do that. So you'd be able to compare if you did better or worse on a given battle, even if it was on a 1 trophy compared, or the first battle compared to the 5th battle, you would still get the exact same data from it if you're just comparing how well each individual team did or each individual instance. I really don't know what I want to use now. I might just stick with the classic at this point. I'm really afraid to use Scion against Wisp. It just doesn't get to do anything. Wisp just keeps casting before you get to do anything at all. I still want to use a Scion in general just because it's still good. And we're still going to need the mana drain to hit the other two since we can't use Famine or anything. Let's see. It's a purple day. There's one other thing we could use, Spider Queen. Though that's a pretty hard disable for how little we'd actually need from it. So I'm not going to bother. So we'll roll with this. Hopefully it goes over well. If nothing else, we can use the Amnesia Elamagrim base and just hope he doesn't get it down to double Korvax range. So we'll just roll with this. Stick with the classics. Maybe once they stop doing Wisp, we'll switch back to the other thing and see if we can get that working. Hello, Simple. Welcome. Let's see. Yeah, there's sometimes those really weird 0-minute or -minute things that come through PvP. No clue what it exactly causes them, but it does happen from time to time. It's really funny when someone has negative values, though. It's like they did something in the future. Okay, we'll go and Skull Distract. I can actually get a nice drain, assuming he doesn't randomly extra turn, which he doesn't. We'll go throw down the Scion for really good value right there. That was one of the probably best value Scions we've casted for a while, even though it didn't really seem like much. But getting those wisps out of cast range is always very, very useful. Shuffle. Was this a useful shuffle? Not really. I need to take, like, blue into, like, a wave of brown or something. That didn't quite do much. Nope, not at all. None of the colors I need is really around at the moment. Green. Well, I guess I need green and purple. You know what? Let me just take the purple and get Scion up at this point. Yeah, there we go. And then we just take the other purple. He'll get Skull Distracted. Wait, do we let him get Skull Distracted? Yes, because I need Scion. So yeah, we will let him get Skull Distracted. One more Skull will not kill, barely. So we'll just leave that as is. Get Kraken up. Get ready on the Scion. Yep, there we go. And now we can Kraken. Though, how many blues is that? Only 6? Never mind, we'll wait a little bit longer. It's almost a guaranteed miss. How many now? 7? Still pretty much a guaranteed miss. Well, we're running out of time. We've got to cast it eventually. Let's cast it now. And we got the Devour, didn't get the extra turn. I guess 1 is better than none. 1 of the 2. So we'll take it. Get rid of red? Yeah, let's go with red. That gives us Elam Grim. We extra turn as well. We got to drain. Okay, we're pretty much in a good position to win at this point. He can't one skull poke us. We reduce down his attack. We have Elam Grim for some damage. I think it's better off just going Kraken mana though. He does get Skull. But that Skull will not be enough to kill. Oh, and we get free purple out of it. Nice. Didn't even need that. But better points, I guess. Oh, excuse me. Well, did we throw this? Yeah, I guess we throw it now. Don't really have much of a choice as far as other options. No extra turns. Don't want to Skull Distract him now because he's going to kill us with it. So we'll just move that over. That gives us Kraken as well. That was the move I was making sure I didn't do. Kraken. Is it worth it? Probably not. I believe it's a Scion into a let the Scion die, into a Kraken, into ideally that will give us full mana, into a cast that, then basically win. So we'll go with that plan. So we'll do that. He'll kill us. Do we take the red? Yeah, why not? Sure. We'll go take that. Oh wait, there's one problem with what I just did. Fail. I accidentally made it so I can't Kraken now. If I Kraken, I don't get to summon. And I think at this point it would be better just wasting this one turn to do that. No, I wanted to summon! No, I accidentally won. Well, 1,394. That was below average though. We did under 1,400 because we didn't get the summon in. Come on, I specifically did that so we could get the summon. And then it doesn't give us the summon. Fail. Okay, mass mana drain. Now would be the time we switch back. Now we go back to the purple test team. Because we'll be able to fend a little bit better now. I almost feel like using Herdmaster a bit higher in the team. I'm just afraid of Corvash every single time. Not to mention once Scion dies, we have to deal with his Scion as well, assuming it's not dead yet. But let's go with this. Hopefully we kill the Moloch that disables 2 mana from his team. And from that point, we're pretty much good to go. I do have to worry about Spirit Fox getting rid of my Herdmaster mana generation. Maybe we should just get rid of Herdmaster. We'll keep it. Because we can use the Wisp to kind of get the board where we need it to. Accidental win, I know, right? I never thought I'd see a game where accidentally winning is actually a bad thing. It is a really weird format where accidentally winning can be a negative thing. It is really, really odd. How do we go about this? Do we take yellow? Yeah, he's just gonna remove them all anyways. Oops, why did I give him purple though? Oh, and blue. Okay, of course. Well then. That's already a really bad situation. We'll just take blue, I guess. He'll Scion us. He'll then go and remove all the yellow off the board. And now we can start doing stuff. So, we don't use brown. Let's see. Why don't you just use the team you told me to use a couple of weeks ago? Herdmaster, Kraken, Abby, Elam Grim. I have used that in the past. The main reason I haven't really bothered messing around with it is I'm scared of Scion draining it down immediately, which I guess would kind of happen with most teams in general. But I don't know, I guess I could run it again. I used to run it in the past. I forget the specific reason as to why I stopped using it. I believe it might have actually been Famine, and Famine isn't really being used as much anymore. I know there was one specific reason why I stopped. I just don't remember what it is these days. Oh, he actually gets a Scion down on it, doesn't he? Yep. Okay, what's even the point of using Scion if I'm not going to be able to utilize it? Let's see. Well, I guess we just go for green at this point. Hope we get a skull. Didn't get it. Oh, he gives us one, though, for no reason whatsoever. I'll take it. Okay, now we have a chance of winning. Because we just turned the tables there. Do we try for Kraken, or do we play it safe with Scion? Oh, I still want to try for that Kraken. Though, we don't really get much of a better value, so I'll play it safe. Oh, he did get blue for free, making this cast harder to land. Oh, and we didn't get to Devour, of course. Of course, of course. Okay. That's really bad, then. Oh, and of course he just drains our mana. If that wasn't already enough. Oh, but we get it back. The mana drain spam. We'll get it. Who gets to keep their mana? Yeah, it was a bad idea, probably keeping the Herdmaster. It's becoming really hard to actually use them because I need to take yellow to take yellow. So we'll throw that down. It'll come very, very close. Up, and of course he gets to drain, and another poke watch to go and kill it, which is definitely not good. What do we do? I need red. And I also need to not give him skulls. Taking that purple would obviously be bad. Taking the brown, we don't get anything out the brown, but we have 2 chances for a red, and it doesn't directly give him a skull yet, unless it cascades into one, which it didn't. Perfect, we can take him for free, and we still have a poke, which we could use to get rid of Corvash, which I think I'm still going to use, even though we're not getting rid of Corvash. I need it for the mana. Oh, and we get double skull poke out of it, pretty nice. Now we have a chance of winning. So we'll go and shuffle the board. Didn't get much better of a board, but we can poke him with a skull and then go for the kill into something. So we'll do that. Herdmaster will not be enough. I'll probably just go for a Scion. That will also not be enough unless we get very lucky. 36 true damage, 14 of it has to hit first slot, and only 7, of course. Well, not even enough hit it that we can Herdmaster kill. Even if I hit every skull on the board, which is not possible, it would not do enough damage. So we'll just go and do our mana generation. We have no summon follow-up, unfortunately. And now we're in range of the double Corvash, which is really bad, because I don't have an immediate way to do damage to him. I would have to take green right now, and there's no way to take green off the board. I could go yellow Surge, and then... But he's just going to Moloch it the second I do. Or will he? Yeah, he will. Well, I guess it's better than him doing it on our Kraken. So we'll do that. Yeah, so he'll just drain that. That was to be expected. I kind of have to take this just so he doesn't get it. There we go. That worked out nice. And down to 1 HP he goes. If I'm not mistaken, I forget what the interaction is on this. I forget. Will this hit the... I think it hits Spirit Fox. I forget for sure if it does. I want to see what the interaction is, though. The answer is no. What I should have done is taken the blue and then the other thing. Well, now we know. I was just testing right there to see if... what's his name would trigger first. The tentacles or the skull damage. Apparently the skull damage triggers first. Oh, there we go. Of course we have no summon, so there's no way for me to get to resummon. Points are a little bit lower. That's to be expected with losing a troop and not doing as well. But yeah, I guess I could try my Scion team again. I mean my Herdmaster team again. Oh, I know why I kind of stopped. Yeah, it was what I said earlier. Too many Scions were being used, which is the main reason why I kind of stopped. So I could Scion or Scions. Was kind of why I ended up going with the other plan. I guess I could bring back the Herdmaster. But against something like that, we're going to need the Scion even more than what we normally do. So let's see. Maybe we'll still build a completely different team again. We already tried like 2 or 3 different ones already. Might as well try another. Let's see. No, not that one. But let's revamp this one slightly. We have Scion, that we need. Eldamagrim we don't, though it would be nice. Amnesia we technically don't. Kraken I would like to keep if we can. So basically Scion, Kraken, and then we would need to decide what the other 2 are. I do like Amnesia for the bonus onto Scion, I do have to say. Maybe there was a replacement for Eldamagrim. Wait, where did my team just go? Because we don't need his Impervious. That's serving no purpose on this team. His ability basically does nothing. The only thing we're using him for is attack reduction, which isn't really going to do much for not gaining extra turns. So let's go and just find a replacement for Eldamagrim to see what we can kind of put there. A second Kraken wouldn't even hurt at this point, just for the higher amount of damage quicker. I wish I could put a KrissTigger there. How to solve any team, put a KrissTigger on it. Unfortunately, we can't in a day like this. Wait, how many blues is he using? Oh, only the 1. It wouldn't be worth using in a mirror. Wait, is there anything under purple that does extra to yellow? Wait, that'd be amazing if there was. I would need that so badly right now. Let's see. Yellow. Though I could use Fairish Ra. Oh, I could use a Dragon Soul Fairish Ra. I think someone suggested something like that earlier. This might be one of the teams that this actually works against if I was to do something like that. I could use a Drake Rider, but I would have to replace out Eldamagrim to use Drake Rider, so that would be pointless. Oh! 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 Hello, Spirit Fox. I forgot about you. Yeah, let's just run Spirit Fox. I suggested so many times and don't even take my own advice. Let's just run Spirit Fox. A little bit of a clunky team as far as mana is concerned. But let me actually go switch to like a purple-green instead. These we're going to be needing a lot more green than we normally do. Here's my purple-green. It's the one with the little spider on it. Where are you? Yeah, let's roll with this. We get to deny out his yellows pretty easily. I'll probably wait a turn before I initially cast it and then go from there. Fox takes away your yellows. Yeah, I don't care. For Amnesia. You know what? Maybe we'll just get rid of Amnesia then too. Let's see. Maybe we go double Spirit Fox. Maybe we go crazy. Maybe we go triple Spirit Fox. Who knows? Here, let's do that. I'm not even kidding. Let's do it. Spirit Fox, Spirit Fox, Spirit Fox. Let's have fun. There we go. Green, purple banner. What am I doing? Scion, triple Spirit Fox. I'm not even kidding. Assuming this is enough damage. Let me actually make sure it is. Let's see. Yeah, that's way more than enough damage. Actually, we could probably double cast it if we get lucky enough. Yeah, let's go with this. I will regret this. I will regret this greatly. But we're going to try it. Scion, triple Spirit Fox. How useful is Spirit Fox? The only problem with this is all his single targets have to hit Scion, which might not necessarily be a bad thing. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Yeah, I know. I'm extremely nuts. I think it will work, though. I'm not even kidding. If they're going to mana drain spam, we're going to mana drain them spam back. It's about the only thing I could really make on a purple day that would still cover every color. So we'll roll with it and see what happens. Let's see. It does look a bit slow, that is for sure. As long as it wins, I really don't care how slow it goes, though. It's only going to be a few hundred difference. Let's just have fun with it and see what happens. Okay, so first things first. What is first? Do we even bother throwing one immediately? That will lower everything by basically 1. That would... Would that give him extra turn? That actually would give him extra turn on blue. So I have to hold then. I'd have to go for a blue-green or something, even though I don't use the green, just to get it off the board. Actually, do I even want to get it off the board? I probably want to keep it on the board. So move that over. And now we'll Spirit Fox. So we'll do this on the Ragnagord, so it can't do anything. Or should I throw it on Famine? Let me throw the initial one on Famine, just to make sure that he's within kill range. Ideally. Ooh, what are you doing, Scion? What are you doing, Scion? You've ruined the whole plan, Scion. Scion, what are you doing? Again, everything foiled from a Scion. Well, we just got wrecked. Well then, that went horribly. Though that was slightly beyond my control, in a way. Oh, now we're 1 mana short too. I should probably check that. He'll throw the Moloch. I don't have any way to redrain him. We'd have to get lucky and just hope for on a Cascade. Yeah, that kind of fell apart pretty quickly. I had no control on that happening, though, that random Cascade. We take the skull, we need it, we get the purple. Okay, now we're coming back into the game. So, I still need that killed. Is there enough yellow on the board? That is... You've got to be kidding me. We're 1 yellow short of killing it. Oh, you know what? We can just throw Scion into it. We'll do that. And then, boom, dead. There we go. Success, except we lost Scion. Well, can we win with only Spirit Fox? That is the question. Yeah, this team definitely didn't go anywhere near as it should have gone. Though I think this would have fended a little bit better if he didn't get that drain. It was mainly that initial drain that kind of did us in. Still winnable. Just a lot less winnable than it was moments ago. Probably should have put at least 1 Kraken on the team just for the sake of having some kind of other troop. Just so it wouldn't be as slow. Alright, we'll have to take purple there just so we can double cast in a row. Probably just on double Ragnagord. Ooh, you won't have enough to kill it. We're going to be a couple of damage short. What reduced our magic? Really? Moloch reduced our magic? It is possible. It's a 1 out of 4 chance, but he only did it by like 1. But 1 is enough to make one of them live if it happens to come down to that point. Because like right now, I do not have enough to kill it. Even with boost ratio, that's only going to bring it up to a 27. Where do we go? Yeah, we'll just move that over. Let him do whatever. We'll need the green. I think we waste our turn and just take the mana. Because we're not going to have enough damage to kill him. We can only do 28. Never mind, we do have to cast. He's going to poke us if I don't. So we'll move the blue over. Skull poke I'll go for because we kind of need it at this point. Then we can take a green into killing him. Or we could just take the green now, actually. kill that out, and then go from there. He extra turned. Oh, never mind. He extra turns. Ah, the anti-value. The lack of value. Oh, but we do get to poke on him. So I guess that works. Now we just need a Scion. I mean, Scion. We just need a true damage kill him. So we'll take that. Take the purple. Ignore the skull. He pokes us with the skull. Leaves us at 1 HP. Then we Spirit Fox him off the Surge. Well, that was a really strange battle. Yeah, didn't really work out. That's for sure. But we won. And that's the main thing that matters. We won and we had fun doing it. Okay, we'll go and what do we need to move? If I do that, he gets a skull. But we do get Spirit Fox. I think it's worth it. Or not. Never mind. Wow, really? He could actually still win this. He could still win this. Not over. Take the green over and Surge. Take a purple or a skull, then go from there. Not you. Let's see. I can't even deny any of his mana. Oh yeah, I can. Never mind. It's literally blinking at me. It's like, I can't deny anything. And he's just going to deny me back. It's just going to be a delay battle at this point. Who delays the most? The problem is I'm losing points for him delaying. Whereas he's losing nothing. Well, let's just hope he doesn't get a skull. Good. And then we skull into Spirit Fox. Oh, I was hoping for a free skull. Or do we have a free skull? No, I can't take it. We could hope for an extra turn off the top, though. Nope, we didn't get it. Oh, I should have taken that a different way. Well, we can deny out some of his colors, luckily, so we can do this. Yeah, it's not looking that good right now, actually. Still winnable. It's really going to come down to the wire here. So we get another Spirit Fox. Luckily, we get to deny his yellow. He's going to get a skull out of it. But one more cast afterwards is enough to kill. And that does bring him down to 0 mana. And he needs 2 skulls to kill us. We only need 1. So, yeah, it's just a rush to who gets full mana now. Or who gets a skull. Oh, there we go. Yay! Well, that went horrifically bad. Let me actually see out of the sake of seeing the score. 1,475. That is obviously really bad for a final battle. Let's see, what did the score come out to for today? Yeah, that is very bad. 6,788. That is quite a bit below what I normally score, but it's only a few hundred off, as I mentioned. Let's see, what did I just score? I just said it on this thing. Let me go back and stream a moment. I want to see what the scales are down to. We end up scoring 1,000... What was it? 1,475. Let me go calculate that down. 1,000... let's see, 5 divided by 6... and times 1,475, I think it was. Yeah, oh wow, that was a lot lower. Never again, but that was pretty funny. 1,229 was what I ended up doing for that final battle. That is very low for any battle, particularly the final battle. Well, technically it was 1,500-ish, but, you know, scaled down, it was only about 1,200. So, yeah, that didn't go over too well. But, hey, we still did an okay score. And I believe we're in 8th right now. Could be a bit better. If we had our other person do the battles, we could easily take 7th. 6 would be questionable. But, yeah. Hopefully we get everyone doing their battles. What will really help me is when the new format actually switches over. Because generally I have like 1 or 2 people that aren't doing the battles in a given week. And that would really help a lot if they do the 27 out of 30. Because then I wouldn't have to worry about the handicaps that we might have in a given week if people are doing other stuff. And other guilds wouldn't have to worry about that either. That might be the only problem is, though, is other guilds also wouldn't need to worry about it. But as far as, like, the really top guilds, these guilds already don't need to worry about, like, Interim, Anonymous, and a few others. They're already active enough that they don't need to worry about, like, maybe an occasional person not being on. But, most normal guilds, there are, like, people taking vacations and stuff like that, or, you know, people have just been playing for years and years, and sometimes they just need a slight break from the game for a little while, if it's maybe just for a week or whatever else. But yeah, that could have gone a lot better today for Guild Wars. But hey, we won. We still got perfect win streak, and that's the main thing that matters. You lose a lot of points for losing in Guild Wars. As long as you do pure color and win, it almost doesn't matter what happens. Of course, it still does because it affects your points. But as long as you still get the wins, like doing bad but still winning with 4 pure colors 4 times over, or for all 5 times over for each battle, is still better than doing excessively good on 4 battles, but then losing like one of them. You actually lose more points that way than basically doing what we did for the last battle every single time, but still winning. Of course, obviously, you wouldn't want to try doing that bad each time. But if you did, but still won, it wouldn't be as bad as actually losing a battle. It comes to kind of like the risk-reward kind of thing. Do you use something that has a slightly lower chance of winning, but it has the better point value when it does work correctly? Or do you risk that possible lose and then lose a lot of point potential? But if you don't end up doing that, then you end up just losing a lot of point potential in general, because you'd be earning like a couple hundred more per battle or so. Can you do teams for tomorrow? Sure. What is tomorrow's color? We'll go and mess around with some teams for tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow is process of elimination. What's even left? I can't even think of what's left. But yeah, I'll go check to see what tomorrow's colors are. Also, if you're on console, the colors for tomorrow are different than what they are on my platform. So let me know what your colors are if you are on console and asking that question. Also, I think we just lost due to silence. Since when did silence actually start to get winnable? I haven't seen silence win for like ages, and then people start using it again. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. The entire meta of the game right now doesn't use silence immunity. I think that's the only reason why people really use Silent One these days, because people are aware that nothing within the meta. If you would have taken a look at the best teams video I did, not counting the Scion that I mentioned at the end, even though it wasn't one of them, I don't believe a single one of them had immune to silence. A good majority of what's actually really strong in the game right now does not actually have immune to silence. So Silent One is making a slight comeback because of that. Anyways, let's just go kill that out and go into testing the thing. Oh, it's a yellow day. Ah, Yellow Day is actually a really complex day to do if you don't have the right troops. My Yellow Day team is... I always wonder, it's like, oh, wait, why do you struggle on Yellow Day? It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Whenever I look at the options you have when you don't have everything, it's actually quite annoying. Yellow Day, I honestly have to say, is probably one of the hardest day if you don't have this exact team. If you have this exact team, it's basically a cakewalk. But, yeah, I can go over some other teams. Generally, if you're going to build a different team than this, you build it around Cockatrice, Talash, and/or Sir Gawain. You build it off of both or one of those two, and build around that. Cockatrice is insanely good for its mana cost, and is a good alternative, lower mana cost alternative to a Gorgoltha. One other pretty noteworthy aspect of it is it's even better than a Gorgoltha at countering out a Scion, which is always pretty beneficial. But yeah, for Yellow Day, I can't even remember if I've ever lost a Yellow Day. If I did, it was due to pure bad luck or bad play. Basically, this team either like this or with oh, what's the legend from that one kingdom called? He's not really used that much. That one red-yellow that's 15 mana cost. What's the other guy? The one hits all enemies from... I completely forget his name. I think it's from Suncrest Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. I completely forget his name. Complete brain fade. But, that guy. He's sometimes used instead of a Moloch. Generally, I just run Moloch. It's not as quick, but it's safer. And, of course, I do prefer winning than getting slightly more points. If I can win pretty much 100% rate. Okay, so Moloch, we'll just wait. Amnesia will just throw. But yeah, I'll make a low rarity kind of team to go throw for Yellow Day after this. But this is what I normally use, and I don't even know if it's lost yet. And if it has, it was due to just excessively bad luck that almost any team would have lost to. Yeah, we'll just throw a Moloch first. I want to save the Famine because we only need a single drain right there. I'd rather use the Famine when we actually need to disable multiple troops at once, like we're about to in a moment. Let's get that for Gorgoltha, because why not? And now would be an okay time to Famine. So we'll do that on Mercy, just get that out the way. Didn't really matter too much what we use that on. He does have the core double skull spam. I'm not really too worried about that because we have Gorgoltha up front, and at this point we essentially just won. But yeah, this team, this team is insane. I've used this team before pure teams were even a thing. Like before Guild Wars was even existed, I used to run this team occasionally. And then when Guild Wars came out, it's like, oh, wait, this is literally just a Guild War team. So it worked out perfectly. There wasn't a single change. This is one of the few teams in the entire game that you, the way you use it in PvP is no different than the way you use it in Guild Wars. Really strange. But yeah, Garuda, yes, thank you, Muhammad. That was the troop I was trying to think of that I couldn't think of. The brain fade. But yeah, let me go do a budget version of a yellow team. So obviously Cockatrice will be on the team. That's pretty much a given. I don't think you would ever run a pure brown day without it. Or unless you're running Gorgolfa, of course. So let's go do that. Cockatrice. Oh wait, never mind. It's yellow day, not brown. What am I doing? But yeah, Herdmaster is a possible option. Generally, I don't run it on yellow day. Purple day, it's fine. But on yellow day, the biggest issue it has is you're going to be taking yellow from the board. And because of that, Herdmaster won't be as effective. Herdmaster needs as many yellows on the board as possible. Also, if you're up against a Spirit Fox like we were, it's obviously not as good. But we'll just go with the Cockatrice. That's always funny that I have to type that in order to bring it up. Gotta get the YouTube censors on it. Anyways, what do we need? Should I go to Sir Gawain version? I don't even know if summoning's as important anymore. I guess we'll go to Sir Gawain version. The other version would be just run Moloch. I don't know if you have Moloch, though. But you go to double mana drain and then build from there. Cockatrice, Green Seer, Forest Guardian, and Sir Gawain. Forest Guardian, Forest Guardian. Why Forest Guardian on that team? Wait, is Cockatrice isn't a beast, so it wouldn't end up getting the buff from it. I'm not quite sure what the Forest Guardian is for. I generally don't run Green Seer into something else, because feeding it into only one troop isn't really that good. We do need a mana generator, though, if we're going to do this. I guess I'll just put in the Sir Gawain and go from there. So we will keep that. Go with the Sir Gawain, if I actually type his name right. Sir G. Sir Guild Wars. Okay, you do have Moloch. I still might go the Sir Gawain version, though. So we'll run with Cockatrice, Sir Gawain. What's that one troop that creates more yellow? Esquela. And then we need, like, one really good damaging troop. So we got our core of our team, all of our support. We put that in the back. We put Esquela in, like, second or something. We need one other troop that's going to be amazing. You know what? Maybe even put that back one. Just go the +1 on Brown or something. Put Esquela in first slot as a tank with 40%. We could even put Night Coronet there at this point, particularly if we're not going to use purple. You know what? Let's just use Night Coronet. Night Coronet, just for damage sake. And that would also help deny out Scion, which is almost guaranteed going to be used. Also, Cockatrice will serve that same purpose as well. And what do we need from here? We need a... basically any troop that's not brown. I mean, that's not purple. So we need a green, a yellow-green to fit in here. What's the best yellow-green that would work? There's not that many options. I believe there's another one coming soon. Oh, no, there was Falconer. Falconer was going to be the other yellow-green. That doesn't really work that well in the context of this kind of team. Yellow-green options. Yeah, I was really hoping that yellow-green, if that was Falconer, would have been better. Or Yali, but it's really too high of a mana cost to really, well, a lot of factors. That and people probably don't have it. Famine also would be too high of a mana cost, plus people probably don't have it. Guard Avatar, same deal. Yellow-green, Forest Guardian in the context of this team would not work. Heronif would not work. Come on, greens, where are you that are useful? Orion wouldn't work, Paladin wouldn't work. Pegasus that denies yellow definitely wouldn't work. Could go Manicore, but that's not enough damage. We really need a better green-yellow damager. I can't use Ranger. That is way too weak for late game. Earlier on in the game, you could probably get away with that. Gotta be kidding me. Where's all the yellow-green options for damage? Does Hero even have anything? Let's see. Come on, Hero. Come through for us. Sundial, but it only hits purple, which would be very situational. Runic Blade, but that's awful this late in the game. Chalice doesn't synergize with almost anything. And yeah, wow, there's a lot of yellow-green options. No wonder why I normally don't build this way. Maul? What about Maul? I probably wouldn't bother ever using Maul in Guild Wars. It'd be way too hard to use. Bison? We're not going to use Bison. I think the biggest issue that's coming here is there's not a green-yellow damager that fits into this team. There isn't a single green-yellow in the entire game that works for damage, and we can't use a yellow-purple because of the denial of our color. I guess we could replace that out, but then we don't use green at all, which of course would be a really big disable to us. At least if we don't use purple, we can use Night Coronet to get rid of it. But seriously, yeah, there's like no green-yellow that does damage. Maybe Falconer and just go Moloch instead? Maybe we'll go with that. Okay, let's actually go with that route. I didn't actually ever try this since we got the Falconer option. So we'll do that and then replace out Sir Gawain with Moloch. Wait, where did Moloch go? Oh, I'm under green still. Fail. But yeah, let's go under Moloch then. go there and try doing it this way then. And I like how it's still called purple test fail. But let's go a brown yellow. Yeah, let's go brown. No, I already had the +1 yellow on the cockatrice. A brown green then, just so we have a summon. Sure, let's go brown green. We'll go with it. Brown green it is. Let's see how this works. Brown green, where are you? Actually, let me move cockatrice back at this point. Yeah, that's fine. Brown green. Where are you? Probably passed it like a billion times. There it is. Okay, let's rename it to yellow test. There we go. Let's go see how Falconer does in this. Blade Dancer. Blade Dancer's damage output's actually relatively low. It used to be good back in the day. It doesn't really scale that well in the current state of the game. Mainly because there's so much more magic now. And because of that, everything that does actual AoE is much better than split damage. Unless they have a really good boost ratio. And his boost ratio is kind of lackluster. It only does a really good first cast, and every subsequent cast is basically useless. Okay, so let's see if this is actually viable in Guild Wars. So far, so bad. So far, so very bad. Wow. The struggle. We can still win. We don't have our summoner anymore, though. I probably should have moved it, assuming that we were up against a Kraken. Yeah, those combos though, the Forest Troll into a Kraken is so insane. I was really surprised how strong that actually is. I extremely underestimated how strong that was going to be when they made that update on Monday, adding him. Like I saw him as like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be another troll. There'll be like a few okay teams that will be used with, but no, he's like, he's like the whole new meta now, built around him with a couple other troops. It's insane. And it's not because he has 20% extra either. It's having no effect on his ability. It's only making him slightly tankier, which has basically no effect on anything. Well, we'll just move that over, I guess. He's entangled, so I don't really need to worry about him. Well, we're entangled too, so, well, that's an issue. Let's throw a Night Coronet for damage. Ideally, that skull would have killed, but of course we're still entangled. Do I just save Moloch? Yeah, I just saved Moloch for now. There's no point in casting it yet. So he has that. I cannot take a skull. Well, there wasn't a skull even if I wanted to. We'll just have to Moloch him. Wow, what happened to our Moloch's mana? Magic, I mean. Did he seriously reduce magic by that much? I guess he did. Did he actually even... No, he didn't even get a cast off. What reduced our magic so much? What, did every extra turn he hit magic or something? That is a lot of magic reduction out of nowhere. We're also jinxed right now. I almost forgot about that. It doesn't play too big a role, but double jinx definitely would. But I guess the single jinx isn't too bad. Pretty much, a lot of people remember how bad jinx was from when, what's his name? When Famine used to have it. Okay, what do we do from here? Do we go for the disable? I'm leaning towards a yes on that. Because I want to save my Moloch drain for one of the other two. Ooh. Wait, how do you still get the kill? Oh, because he extra turned it. Okay. I was going to say. Well, yeah, we just lost. Well, then. Oh, and now I didn't bother taking the purple. Fail. Yeah, Yellow Day is really hard. Without some of the core troops to use. That is for sure. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Red Day was the one that was mentioned as the hardest. We haven't gotten recent data on that, though. There was some polling on it when Guild Wars first came out. And the consensus was by about 50% that Red Day was the hardest. Pretty much every color got basically made the list. I think it mainly was based on what people actually had. Because there are some core troops that are used every single day that if you don't have, like with this kind of team, it just makes it so much harder to actually use. What do we roll with? I almost just feel like running a, what's it called? A Dragonian Monk with a bunch of support. Or not really a bunch of support, just a bunch of damage. Like a Dragonian Monk as the frontline support for durability into a mana generator into a double damage source of some kind. I think that might work the best. I did something similar to that on my other account when I had to do Yellow Day. And it ends up working okay. I forgot what I specifically used back then, though. It was a lot lower a bracket, though. So I don't know if that would still work for higher brackets. Why didn't the event change? What do you mean, why didn't the event change? Events change on Mondays, not on other days. It's Mondays when the event changes over. Let's see. What do we throw? Oh, wait, why did the event change for next week? Oh, I see. I think it has I have no actual way of knowing, but I believe the reason they changed it is because of the patch coming up soon. Soon, TM. It might be sooner than we think, who knows. But, I believe that's why they changed it. The other reason someone brought up was Grim, but I don't think they would have done it for that. Though it could be a possibility, you never know. But, wow, we might actually still win, that'd be amazing. But, yeah, I believe it's mainly because of the patch coming up, and for whatever reason they wanted to switch it real quick for patch reasons, I'm not sure. But, that's the only reason I could really think of. Generally, they don't really switch up they don't really switch up updates like that, like they did. But yeah, next week is no longer the Zasian one with the blue, purple, or any of that. It is now the, where'd it go? It is now the, where did it go? A brown-red, which is kind of nice because we weren't getting brown-red for a long time. It's been about 8+ months, I think, since we've gotten a brown-red event. If I'm not mistaken, it's the trait stone I have the absolute least of, because it's also annoying to farm brown-reds, or at least before the most recent kingdom came. But on console right now, it's ridiculously hard because Groshnock Kingdom is the only place you have to go, and that kingdom is one of the most annoying kingdoms to have to explore in due to the troops that have like 100% revive there and 25% revive. It's just really annoying and time consuming compared to every other kingdom. Since it's the only kingdom that has a 100% troop, it has the only 100% revive troop in the game. But yeah, they're adding a new brown-red to Glacial Peaks, which seems like the weirdest place ever to add a brown-red troop. They're adding the brown-red to the place that has the -red banner and everything like that. But it does make the kingdom cover every color now, if I'm not mistaken. I believe the only thing it was initially missing was red, and now it has red, so at least for that sake, it will now be able to cover all colors. Though there are very few needs that you would ever have to do to make a full Glacial Peaks team. Surprisingly, even though there's a lot of decent troops within Glacial Peaks, nothing really within Glacial Peaks actually synergize with each other, which is kind of weird. Also, we have almost no damage because of famine. I mean, not famine, because of plague. That can happen sometimes. Also, this battle in general is just a complete train wreck. Let's see, we'll move that over. Move the skull. It is possible that he could reduce us so low that we almost couldn't win the game. It is possible with some teams that you literally could go so low that's impossible to win. In this case, we'd still always be able to win, because technically we'd be able to win off of Moloch's boost ratio, and we'd have to win off of that factor. But very slowly, we shall chip him down and get our win. If this was Guild War, we'd gain like a 1,000 score for the day. Or for that battle, I mean. It would be a very, 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 very low number of some sorts. Do we take brown and hope for a skull? Consequences of that is we die, which is probably bad. So we'll go do that instead. We'll take skull. Do have to worry about him, but we have cockroaches available if we need. He's entangled right now, so I don't need to worry about him randomly taking a skull if it does happen. Of course, we still don't want him randomly taking one just in case, but we'll do that. Kill him out. I can't believe we actually won this battle. Well, actually, he could still win. He can Kraken and then devour out of that Kraken. Never mind, we won. Yep, that's enough damage. Yay! Somehow we won! Wow, that would be like 1,000 score if that was an actual battle. But technically it won! Yeah, Yellow Guild War Day. It is very annoying without the proper troops. And imagine doing that without Moloch. Well, actually, you would use Sir Gawain if you didn't have Moloch. I think the biggest thing that happened that kind of got us was Falconer died immediately. I think that battle would have went a little bit different otherwise. But, yeah, that is why I always run this team. You can also try running a Guard's Avatar team of some sorts if you, like a Hellcat into Guard's Avatar with, like, 2 other support if you have a Guard's Avatar, and a few other ones like that. But yeah, this is what I always run for Yellow Day. You can also replace out pretty much everything from this team. Actually, on the Yellow Day, it's slightly harder to replace some of it out, because you have nothing to replace out Famine with to cover what you need. Because none of the green yellows are particularly good, as I already kind of went through with that team. Amnesia, you'd have to replace out with either a yellow purple or a yellow blue, of course. Sir Esquilla would probably be, or Prince Esquilla, whatever his name is, would be okay, since that gives you a yellow storm. As far as a yellow purple option, you could always go Herdmaster if you had to, I think that's the cheapest one you can use. You can do Sun and Moon if you happen to have it. And what else would end up working? You would go, I can't think of another one off the top of my head. Inferno King would be too clunky. Yeah, I'd probably just stick with a Herdmaster at that point, even though I kind of advise against it. It would still give you the cleanse, which if you were up against something that had the counterpart to it would be okay. So yeah, let's see if we can win against something like this. Like, this would be using Guild Wars. This is pretty much just a standard yellow against it. You really need the Arcane really bad, just wondering. Yeah, Arcane Lavas next week. I need to go double check. I didn't do that earlier. Let's see how many Arcane Lavas I even have. I was mentioning it earlier, like I have like almost none of them. I kind of want to see how that is though, because I know I went out of my way to farm some of them. I forget if it's still my lowest trait stone or not. There is a possibility, even though I keep saying like, oh, I have so few of them. It might not even be my lowest trait stone anymore. I need to go double check it. Also, I love how we're already doing horrifically bad. That's not good. We're also on a yellow day, so we can't use a Scion to even attempt to counter. So why am I just taking mana that he drains? I was hoping I could kind of do something to kind of divert around, but oh well. Let's take the Skull Poke, let him famine us. Just let him throw all the drains. If we don't have any mana, he can't do anything to us. So we'll go and just move that over. Of course, he'll drain us. This isn't going over well. Showing the team that works consistently, and then it fails. Where do we go? Where do we go? This is one of the reasons why I run the Moloch with it. Times like this is where you actually need the Moloch instead of the Garuda, because the Moloch will be able to give you the much-needed mana drain that you need to finish off something. Also, Famine for the win right there. That was amazing. Good job, Famine. Actually doing what you're supposed to do with the stat reductions and hitting the right ones for once. So, like, right here, like, the whole reason why you carry a Moloch is for stuff like that. Boom. It almost kills it immediately, plus he doesn't get a summon, so we don't have to deal with it anymore. Yep, and he gets Famine. That's really bad. I need to Skull Distract him. And if we can't get it, then we're in trouble. Actually, even if we do get it, we're in trouble. We'll just take it out, I guess. Yep, there he goes. Kind of had to happen. We'll just take yellow, try getting Gorgolfa up or something. Even just getting Famine up at this point would also be fine. I need to make sure I take it in a way that I leave the red on the board, so that we can take a red into another red the following turn. That gives us Moloch. And now we just wait until we actually need to throw it on something. And I almost don't want to throw it on him, and just hope he doesn't get an extra turn. We'd get a lot better value throwing that at Amnesia. Actually, I can just throw it at Amnesia now and kill it. Let's go with that. Oops, I just clicked off. Let me go throw that down. And he does extra turn. No, it isn't. Never mind. That actually would have been better if he extra turned, I think. Because then he would have wasted his Famine. No, there he goes with the Famine for full value. We get Amnesia that first summon. Going a little bit slower than what it normally does, mainly because we keep getting mana drained. This team does get a lot of mana and is really bad against a Famine. And of course, a lot of people run Famine. But oh well. Let's see. The two biggest counters are really on the team, the Scion and the Famine. Famine is bad against Exploders, and Scion is a good counter, or wait, yeah. Famine counters out Exploders, and we have two of them. And Scion counters out Gorgolfa, and we have a Gorgolfa first slot. Counters us out on basically every front that this team is stronger in, which is unfortunate, because that's currently what's actually good. But unfortunately, this is also what is good. So in a way, this is almost not as good, in a way, but still good. It's odd. It's only excessively good if you're not against a kind of like Scion Famine. It still wins against it. This can happen a lot. Well, we just lost the other thing. Also, he has Famine again. Can he stop just getting everything up constantly? We're down to just Amnesia, which technically can solo an entire Guild War battle, assuming it's not up against Drain Spam. But we're up against Drain Spam, though technically only one, since the rest of them kind of died. But, still bad. If nothing else, at least we gain one stat per turn, helping us to kind of stay in this. So he'll waste this turn right there. It'll give us a pretty decent ability to actually win then. Not if we don't get mana, though. That is unfortunate. Do we Skull Distract or just start poking him? Oh, no, we can't even Skull Distract. One more Skull kills us. Gasp. What we're gonna... No! Wow, we actually lost. Amazing! Hey, we're up against Maximuse, too. Hey, we lost against Maximuse. Well, we lost against Maximuse. Where is Maximuse? Wait, is that the same Maximuse? Wait, Maximuse, is that you, Maximuse? Or is that a different Maximuse? Wait, that has to be you, then. Wait, I just lost to you. That's funny. That's funny. I just lost to your defend team. The Scion Ragnagord Famine Abbey. Mainly lost to the Famine. Well, the Scion Famine. Of course, or actually, I should say the Scion Ragnagord Famine, because I had to keep wasting for the Ragnagord. That's pretty funny, though. Yep, that's you. Well, I just lost to your defend team. Congrats. Trying to use the pure yellow Guild War thingy. Let's see. Sometimes I do end up replacing Cockatrice with Gorgolfa just to make sure that I can go a bit quicker. Just to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen. Maybe I'll need to do that tomorrow if I feel like that's going to happen again. High Forge or Dark Monolith trait? Yes or no? High Forge is better than Dark Monolith. Honestly, I don't use Dark Monolith at all. The biggest problem with Dark Monolith is, I don't know, there's just really isn't anything that it's used to counter at the moment. I almost prefer using Lava Elemental, which is only an ultra rare and much cheaper to trait than this thing. The only really good thing it does, well, it deals damage to the 2 weakest enemies, and it deals double if it's damaged. Of course, if you can somehow easily do damage to it, that's good. Like, if you can somehow get it poisoned easily, or get it true damage easily without actually, like, completely having it die, because it does have pretty low HP. That works out pretty well. It has stone skin, so it's a little durable. It's the only thing that really gains something pretty substantial when the enemy casts. It gains 3 magic every single time. So if they're running an infinite loop team, and they don't end up killing you after, like, 10 loops, you just got yourself 30 magic, which is 60 damage to a single target if you're damaged. And that's 120 total additional damage. So there are instances where he does work. He's mainly used against Infinite Loop. He's not the best thing against Infinite Loop, and honestly, I don't really feel like he's that viable. If he had Impervious instead of Daemon Bond, I could see him being useful. Because then you could use him in last slots, use him to counter out Crack and Endless Loop teams, and then just kind of go from there. But I don't know, I just really don't find much of purpose for him. Whereas, at least, as weird as it may seem, the Dwarf is actually decent. Because he's just really insane. The 2 dwarves they added recently are, they basically made dwarves from useless to, okay, now they have a couple okay troops. Before it was only Apothecary. Essentially, Apothecary was the only dwarf in the game. But now there's Dwarven Gate, which is insanely good. And there's King Highforge, which is arguably the best dwarf. Obviously, because it's a legend, and it also has the unique trait. It also has Fortitude, which is technically a unique trait, even though it's not. It's the only troop, I believe, that currently has it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Fortitude. Yeah, he's the only troop still with Fortitude, though there will be additional troops with it in the future. But he's the only troop that will ever have the 50% to all dwarves. He also has a really insane boost ratio. But yeah, as far as brown-red things to trait, first things first, let me see how many I even have. I was mentioning that earlier, like a billion times. Let's see, how many am I at right now? Brown red, yeah, 64. That is a very low amount. Basically, any amount below 100 I consider low. First world problems. Yeah, first world problems. The ones I need more of is green, pure green. Oh, I actually did pure red so much I ended up getting over 100. Nice. But yeah, I mainly just need pure green, pure purple, and brown red. Mainly brown red. Wow, look at that margin. That margin difference. My second lowest arcane is 96. My lowest, which is brown red, which hasn't been out for almost like 9 months now in the event system, is 32 lower than that. You can definitely tell there has not been a brown red event for a very, very long time. Yeah, it's even my lowest trait stone. So that's kind of nice that they finally brought a brown red. It'll be coming next week. What you specifically use for it are, let's see, Alchemist, you would get to second traits, so you don't actually use brown red for that. Let me see. Let's go over every brown red that would be. I'll go over this, of course, in more detail later. Let's see. Or let's just say which ones are worth it and not. Alchemist, it's worth getting its first 2 traits, so technically it doesn't use any brown red. Blast Cannon is useless in its current state. Bombardier is useless in its current state. Cyclops is very rarely used, but you can fully trade it if you want, if you have a bunch of spares. Dark Troll is very situational if you would actually need it fully traded. But if you are using like a Rock Troll, Dark Troll team, you might as well fully trade it. Dark Monolith, I'd personally skip. It's not worth investing into. Dragon Knight, skip. He's not a good enough dragon counter. I forget if Elmagrim uses it. I'll need to double check that. But if he uses, it's definitely worth trading him. Emperina is very situational, but if you have spares, it is worth trading. Mainly up to his Fire Link, or her Fire Link, I mean. Flame you don't really ever need. You mainly just need the Fire Link on it. I forget if Guard's Avatar uses it, but definitely fully trade that if it does. Gorgon is useless. You're better off going Lava Elemental. Lava Elemental is better than it in pretty much every single way. Yarrow is very situational. I'd actually advise not to trade him, particularly if you have Infernus. But if you needed something that needed to get a burn, then I guess get it. But I personally consider Shegra better these days. I used to say Yarrow is always better to trade than Shegra, but with changes that have been made recently to both of them, or actually no changes were really made to Yarrow, it's mainly made to Shegra. With the changes made to Shegra, it's actually better going Shegra traits than it is to go Yarrow traits, at least in my opinion. Ketris, I forget if it uses it, but it is okay to trait, though a pretty big sink. Lava Elemental is probably the best value you can get out of any brown-red that you'd fully trait. It has a pretty nice stone skin, it has Pyromania, it has really high damage output. It's one of the really strong budget-related troops. King Highforge would be really good to trait. Night Terror is useless. Nobin Brothers traits are basically useless and would be one of the last things you trait. Ragnagord is a really huge essential to trait, even though he is an epic and costs quite a bit. You only need his first 2 traits just to be able to get his fast. His fast trait is insanely good. Definitely worth it. Sandshark is useless, pretty much. Shegra, I would advise doing if you needed a burn. I personally prefer this over a Yarrow these days, though of course I'd prefer Infernus over both of them, but if you had to go either as a burner, either Shegra or Yarrow, Shegra would be it in most instances. Sometimes you would go Yarrow though if you only wanted to do it off of extra turns and not red, but if you're going to run like a Hellcat or something, you might as well just go with the red Shegra. Let's see, what else? There's Tankbot. Tankbot's useless. The Urskea, also pretty useless. It's okay to have, but it's like one of the last priorities you would ever bother trading on brown-red. I forget if War uses it. If it does, don't trade it. And that's it. So that's all the brown-reds. So to recap, basically Lava Elemental for the best budget, and for the absolute best trait on brown-red, I'd say it would probably have to be, well, Lava Elemental. But what even is the other really viable option, really, as far as legends? There's a couple of them that are okay. None of them are really that over the top as far as brown-red. There's a lot of them that use it. It's just none of them are like excessively like, ooh, wow, that's so overpowered. It's just kind of average for the most part. I guess Ragnagord, honestly, I'd probably say the highest priority. There's a lot of really strange teams that get built out of Ragnagord with double traits. So for once, it's actually an epic troop that I would say is the next kind of best to get. Yeah, Ragnagord. That's very rare. Normally it's like a legend or a mythic. But I would have to say with all the options available, there's just so many more things that Ragnagords are used for in the current state of the game. And a lot of these other troops are excessively situational when you actually use them, as far as brown-reds are. Event is coming, ×2. When is Event coming? So many brown-red troops and not enough arcane stones ever. Oh, it's coming in... Yeah, it's coming in 2 times next week. You'll be able to buy them for 200 glory each. You'll be able to get them very cheap. And I'm definitely stocking up. I'm probably going to buy it out and then buy even more on top of that. Which would be better to trait? Highforge or Fire Mantle? Depends what you're really looking for. Personally, I would go with Highforge over Fire Mantle. But that really depends off if you need a boost ratio off a burn ever. Like if you're going to be running Courage-related teams or just some other thing like Element Grim or something that actually requires burns on the enemy. You would need a Yarrow more than you would need Highforge. But for just general play, if you're just playing against random teams and just trying to get like quick wins and stuff, I believe what's his name? The Highforge is better for you because he has the higher damage output compared to a Yarrow Fire Mantle. Highforge also has the Summon, which makes it good for Guild Wars, so it has another purpose. You can use it as a Guild War Summoner. I even use it as a Guild War Summoner. I believe I use it on Brown Day as my Guild War Summoner, if I am not mistaken. I go on my Brown right here. So yeah, I'd probably go Highforge if it was just for that fact alone, just the fact that you can use it within Guild Wars. I do use it as my 3rd slot on Brown Guild War days, and yeah, it works out pretty nice. I don't even think I've lost with him yet, since I've been starting to use him. He also has immune to Deathmark and immune to Devour. So yeah, I'd probably just go say Highforge. He just has more versatility than what you would use a Yarrow for. Yarrow, it might be stronger in a couple instances, but there's a way more things that you use Highforge for. You got 40,000 glory to spend? Nice. You might want to throw almost all of that next week. Let's see. How much would I actually spend? I'm probably going to spend like 20,000 glory next week. That's going to go down a lot. Hopefully I don't dip under 200,000, but it might end up happening. Anyways, I think I'm going to be heading out for the night, guys. Thank you all so much for coming down. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the normal morning stream. And then back, as we do every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll do the Guild War battles and random discussion and all that kind of stuff like we just did. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, whenever. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, best of luck with everything. If you're still on console, don't forget that Infernus is in the drop pool. It is a decent mythic. It's nothing too over the top, but it's definitely one that I like using situationally. The best thing that he really has going for him is mainly his traits, particularly his final trait, which allows him to burn all enemies constantly, every single time he extra turn. He basically is just a perpetual burn on the enemy team, which with a couple of synergies can be pretty good. Most notably, either Courage or Elamagrim are the two biggest things that benefit the most from an Infernus, but he's still a decent mythic. Not the absolute best out there, but one that I would say is worth at least attempting to try to get. Not something I would say throw literally every resource at, though. It's not that good of a mythic. If you don't get it, you don't really need to worry that much. Like many mythics, it's exceptionally situational when it's actually useful or not. And of course, has that really high mana cost, where even with the mana generation it gets back, it's not really enough to kind of keep it going, compared to a Dragon Soul that can just keep looping over and over. So kind of situational, mainly just used for its mass burn and stuff like that. But it is on the only mythic currently on console until next Friday, so do keep that in mind. Anyways, thank you all, good night, thanks for coming by, and I'll see you all later. Have a wonderful night. Best of luck with everything.